Welcome to the 7th episode of CIO Career Coach, Working with Recruiters. Before we start, it's important that you keep in mind that not every company hires an external search firm to recruit their senior executives. Many companies have their own internal recruiting organizations who recruit their executives themselves. If you rely solely on a handful of search firms to make you aware of new opportunities, you're missing out on a whole host of potential new jobs. Networking directly with the company you are interested in joining should be a critical part of your search. Even so, executive search firms often do play an integral role in matching candidates to clients. So here are a few quick pointers on establishing and maintaining relationships with recruiters. 1. Executive recruiters do not work for you. Companies that are interested in recruiting a new executive hire a search firm to tap the talent pool. As such, recruiters work for the hiring company, not for the candidate. A search firm will not take you on as a candidate, work with you on your resume and your brand, and then represent you to a series of opportunities. My job as a recruiter is to help my client find the best match for his or her opening, not to advocate specifically for you. If you are a great match for one of our search engagements, I will work with you and counsel you on your resume and your interview style. But if you are not a viable candidate for a search we're working on, I will pass on you for now and then come back to you when I'm working on something else for which I believe you are a great fit. There are resume writers and career counselors who will take you on as a client, but as an executive recruiter, that is not my job. 2. Treat recruiters as an extension of the client. While we recruiters place tremendous value on the relationships we have with our candidates, we are sometimes put off by how casually our candidates treat us. When I hear a candidate, for example, use off-color language or complain about their job, and I caution them against that behavior, the candidate will say, "Oh, I would never say that on an actual interview. This is just us talking." It's important that you understand that I am an extension of my client, and I am evaluating our conversation to assess whether to send you in for a client interview. My advice: interact with executive recruiters just as you would interact with the CEO of the company where you would like to work. 3. Use referrals. One of the best ways to establish contact with a recruiter is to be referred by a client or a candidate that the recruiter has placed. Like you, I get a ton of email every day. If I responded to every job seeker's request for my time, I would never eat, sleep, exercise, or see my family. I just don't have the space on my calendar. But if you are referred to me by a candidate that my firm has placed into a role, or by one of our clients, I will honor that relationship and make time for you. My advice: if you are interested in working with an executive recruiter, every time a friend of yours gets a new job, ask her whether she worked with a recruiter, and if the answer is yes, request an introduction. Tip number 4, pay it forward. When a recruiter contacts you about a role that is not a fit, take it as an opportunity to build a relationship anyway. Call back with names of people you believe are qualified for the role. While you're on the phone, you can remind the recruiter of what you yourself are looking for. Recruiters have good memories. When they are recruiting for another role that might be right for you, they will remember the qualified candidates you sent their way and will be more likely to tap you for your next opportunity. Number 5, stay in touch. As with anyone in your network, you need to find the balance between staying top of mind with a recruiter but not overwhelming them with communication. Send an email every 6 weeks or so to let the recruiter know that you're still on the market and remind them of what you're looking for. Regular contact ensures that your name keeps surfacing among the pile of resumes and messages the recruiter is managing every day. But asking to meet for coffee once a month is too much. Like you, recruiters have limited time, and most of that time will be spent recruiting for their current engagement. Once you've had a live interaction, a regular email check-in is plenty. And finally, tip number 6, be transparent. Remember that even though executive recruiters work for their clients, they want to get you a fair deal. Be honest with recruiters about your compensation and about other opportunities you may be interviewing for. The more transparent you can be with your recruiter, the better they can advocate for you when it's time to negotiate a deal. There you have it. 6 tips for working with recruiters. Next up, negotiating the offer.